Hi, everyone. This is Tatiana Dudiez. I am hosting Thrive and Shine, and this is a show about authentic entrepreneurs, authentic leaders today who manage to lead their lives and their businesses through consciousness and authentic power. And so, without any due delay, I want to introduce to you Candice, who is one of my friends, one of my mentors here in LA, who is a serial entrepreneur. Candice, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I know. It's awesome. Candice, you are one of the first persons I met here in LA. It's been, a year and a half now. And It's been quite an interesting journey for me. And having you on that path has been really fun and interesting and a little crazy because we're both a bit crazy. And we still have gotten away with a lot of tame energy, I would say. I think we can be a lot crazier.
I'm sure we can. I don't think we have a problem with that.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the things that I've really enjoyed about you and when I first met you was how authentic you are in who you are, meaning you stand out in many ways. I mean, as a businesswoman, you stand out in the way that you present yourself. You stand out in so many ways, and you completely own it. And shall I say, you don't give a shit about what you think. And it's one of the things that I loved about you. And at first, I was like looking at you, going, I'm not quite sure who she is, but we started talking. We started building a relationship, and then we've been on a lot of different things together. I mean, I've been on your show many times. You've been involved in my life, many times as well, helping me build, the business that I'm building today here in LA. And it's just been an interesting ride together. So I'm so excited that you're joining us today because we've got lots to share still. One of the sides of you that I also love and admire is your entrepreneurship and how you are building your empire based on your values and based on, how you want to lead your life, which is extremely personal to you and very authentic to you. And so what does that mean for you? What does that mean, building a business and your empire for you? How do you carry that through?
It's so funny. Like, I think with most things in life, you don't really plan a lot of things that have happened in life. You just kind of go with the flow and then take it where it goes. For me, it's the second I don't have fun, I'm not doing it. So I'm still having fun doing what I'm doing. It's been a really fun ride so far. There's so much cool stuff coming up in the very near future that I know about, and I'm sure there's more cool stuff coming up that I don't know about yet. And it's just having fun and hopefully giving a lot of value and serving. And life is always crazy. Life is always like this. Even day to day is always nuts. But you just go with it, and it's a journey. You got to kind of just be on the journey and go with the flow.
Yes. And I want to point out, though, that for anyone watching us and who don't know you, you say it's about having fun. Once I don't have fun, that's it. I move on, I guess, to the next thing that brings you more fun. However, you're one of the hardest workers I know. And
Thank you.
It doesn't, this having fun. I love the way that you're incorporating it in your life, because I've seen you, I've been observing you in the past year and a half. And so you work hard and you ensure, if I understand correctly, by your comment of having fun, you ensure that you always keep that as a value or as an energy in your day. Right. So you work hard. I mean, you really put the foot to the pedal.
I work really hard. Literally the second I wake up to the second I go to sleep, I am working. I'm on my phone, having phone meetings or face-to-face meetings or doing something with work. Mm-hmm. So don't take that as, lightly. I am working literally all the time.
Right.
Sometimes even when I'm at the gym with my trainer, I'm working. Like it's madness. And I was actually thinking today, I'm like, no one else I know that no one else could do this. But I also, it's so much a part of my day today. I'm so used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say fun, I mean, I have to keep a lightheartedness about it.
That's the point. That's the distinction I wanted you to make. Okay. Yeah. So describe that, how you bring that lightheartedness in.
I can't get too heavy about anything. Like, you know, in the beginning of business years ago, like even now sometimes, you know, you still take some things personally, but mm-hmm. now at this stage of my life, this point in my career, what's going on at this moment, I really take things light, like with a grain of salt. And I really don't let a lot of things bother me personally anymore, because I got to be able to keep it going. I got to be able to move forward quickly. And mm-hmm. the faster you can get over things, the better it will be for you.
So what's your trick in adding value to others in this way, in bringing them little cues as to how they can keep that lightheartedness going?
You know, when things are feeling heavy, that's when energy is stagnant. So you got to kind of chop it up a little bit. Like I just said, like I literally just got back from the gym training, and it was great. It was not a part of my day that was really the best time for me, but I knew I had to get that training in, and I'm happy I did. This is just a little tidbit of like what I did. I'm glad I got that in, because it resets my brain. So when I get out of the gym, I'm thinking differently.
Yes. So you have to know, basically you have to know yourself and go around to, so what is it that you do, for instance, when you are ticked off or really upset over someone in business? Now, what is your way to keep the lightheartedness going when you are dealing with someone, either a client or perhaps a collaborator, that is bringing down that energy?
You know, it depends on what's happening. It depends on a lot of different factors. But if someone is just being negative or like bringing me down energetically, it then doesn't serve me. Mm-hmm. So I then either cut that relationship off, or, which I'm really good at doing.
I've seen you. Yes, you are.
You got to think of the person that's doing that, because they're not really doing it to you. And it took me a long time to understand this. But
so basically not taking it personally, they're not doing it.
But you got to look at it. You got to look at where they're coming from, at what level of the game in their life. And are you going to let that person in their energy at that level bring you down to their level? But it's a decision. Yeah,
it's a decision. And so, which brings me to the point that I also wanted to discuss with you, which is ensuring that in business and in life, because I really believe that there is no difference. The way we conduct ourselves in business is the way that we conduct ourselves in life. We carry in the same values in our business that we have in our lives. A lot of people make that distinction in terms of, you know, they believe that the way they're going to behave in their professional life is different than in their personal. I don't understand it, and I don't agree with it, but hey, everyone's different. Mm-hmm. So in order to best serve and also to best receive, I think that having a vibrational match with people and ensuring that, you know, we are able to discern who is matching that vibration in our lives and who isn't becomes a skill, I believe, that we ought, as women and as men, to develop. Mm. What's your take on that, and how has that also evolved with time for you?
Oh, I agree 1,000%. You know, what is the saying? The water rises to its own level, right? So, a lot of people I've noticed, and I've seen throughout my life, my career, you know, there's a lot of people in a lot of people's lives that don't serve them and haven't served them for a long time. And that word serve can mean whatever you want it to mean to you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like everyone knows what connections they should keep and what connections they shouldn't, but they feel bad. And this is what I've seen a lot. And this is actually why a lot of people stay stagnant in business, because they're afraid of people not liking them, especially female entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only female entrepreneurs, but I've seen a lot in the female entrepreneurial world. They're afraid of people not liking them. They're afraid of people will think of them. And you can't really give a shit. You can't really think about these things. If it's your business, it's your responsibility. It's your baby. Like if somebody was hurting your child, you're not going to keep that person around your child. Hopefully you got to look at it the same, like your energy, your business, they're things that you really have to hold sacred.
It's true. And yet, like I said, I think it's a skill that we as women ought to learn as quickly as possible, because we tend to be too accommodating, too nice, sometimes nurturing, enabling, and it becomes our own worst enemy to be that empathetic or empathic as well towards others, whether it's a business opportunity or business collaboration. It really requires our discernment and our decision making to know that it is in fact the right match, the right choice that we're making moving forward. And so as women, I know you've got lots to say about what irritates you about women in business, right? I love that conversation with you.
I think one of the things that has separated me from a lot of different, I think, female entrepreneurs, one of the things that has helped me move forward quickly in business is my ability, discernment, and ability to make decisions and stick with them. So, example, I don't believe in returns, meaning I don't do returns and I don't ask for returns.
Like reimbursement, you mean?
No, even if with anything at all. And there is a coach who's very similar mindset. His name is David Nagel. And even if I bought a shirt, or if I purchase like a coaching program or anything, whatever you purchase,
right? My
belief is money actually, if you have it in the bank or in your hand, or money, you don't own money. Money is not yours. Money is an energy. And the second that energy is given to whatever you spent it on, it's gone.
I love that.
I see a lot. Again, this is not just females, so we're not harping on the ladies, but I see a lot of women going back and forth with this decisions that are made with whatever. And you need to make a definitive decision. If you said yes, that means yes, and you do it.
Then stick to it and deal with it.
Exactly. So this is I would say this is one thing that has helped me quite a bit in business. Like my word is everything. If I said it, I'm doing it.
So what do you think? Why do you think women have a tendency to? Do they expect returns? Do they? I
don't know about this. I think it's a lot of they let a lot of outside influence and outside sources kind of mess with them a little bit.
Right.
But that goes back to being strong within yourself and your own decisions. Again, it's like it's your business, it's your baby. Who's going to know better how to raise your kid besides you?
Right. And it's also knowing who you are inside and getting to a point where you're unwavering and, where you're just not easily tilted on one side or the other, to keep that direction, to keep that arrow in the direction you've set it to begin with, right?
You made a decision, stick with it.
Yeah. Interesting. What else? What else do you have to share about women that you've experienced in business that either you can actually commend or speak of in terms of something that you recommend should not be done?
I will say I can only speak for myself. So we'll say, but things I observed throughout the years, things that I've noticed. If there is an issue or problem with anything, a person or anything at all, don't keep talking about it to a million people and just harping and kind of stirring the shit pot. Deal with it yourself. Go right to the source, whatever it is. Deal with it yourself. You don't need a million opinions about what's happening. However you feel is whatever is happening. Have an adult conversation, if there needs to be one, and deal with it and move forward.
Yeah, that's another really good one that I see a lot of women do as well.
I've seen it a lot in business.
Yeah. It comes back to this wavering or this this ability that we have in general. I mean, we're generalizing, that women have in general, to allow themselves to be tilted on one side or the other by outside influence. So they'll talk to their girlfriends, they'll talk to whoever wants to hear whatever they need to vent, because that's something that we tend to have. As women, we like to vent. We need to vent. It's like we stack a lot of emotions and energy during the day because we're such empaths, and we receive a lot of outside influence energetically. Okay. And then we need to vent it. But unfortunately, I think that from what I see on my end as an advisor to some of these women, is they unfortunately vent to the wrong people.
Yes, that's another thing. It's like you're allowed, we're not going to know everything. However, I do feel no one's going to know better than you. That's how I feel.
That's right. Yeah.
But if you do want someone's 2 cents, make sure it's someone who you really trust, who you would trade life with, that person who's at a level higher than you in every sense of that definition. Be very careful who you're getting your information from, because if you're talking to someone who is at a low vibration, they're at the same level as you, it's not serving you at all for someone just to agree with you because they want to stir the pot. Yeah,
exactly.
So
again, that comes with
all of this is a complete waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time and it's a waste of energy. And again, it goes back to discernment in terms of figuring out who is at that vibrational match or higher, so that you allow yourselves to only receive the best and therefore be able to serve with your business in the best way possible. So that's another tendency that women have. Anything else you'd like to expand on? Or?
No, I guess I'm definitely not harping on female entrepreneurs, because I will tell you, I built my business with female entrepreneurs. Very, very, very few men. Very few. I would say my business has been built on female entrepreneurs, about 99%. So I love the female entrepreneurs. Do not get me wrong. I really am so grateful for them. There's so many amazing things that they do, but these little things that you notice along the way, if those were tweaked, man, like we're just now, like you and I were talking earlier about women finally getting the idea of collaborating. Finally.
Yeah. And, it's something that we haven't seen as much because we have been, and this is part of my work, because we've been conditioned to go at it in a masculine way, which again has nothing wrong to it. It just doesn't make us grow in a way that is intrinsically authentic to us, right? So as women, we like to talk, we like to or the other the shadow to that is we like to vent, or we enjoy being in part of groups and circles. And we have grown our businesses in the past under the assumption that sharing with someone might take away our secret sauce, or it might disengage the competitiveness, I guess, that we ought to have,
right?
Which is untrue in my opinion, right?
1,000%.
Right? We all have something special to give. We all have a different type of business. Even if, in my world, the advising / coaching there's tons and tons of people who are doing this type of work, consulting in that way. Yet I'm the only one who gives what I give to my clients in this way, because it's just me and the one next door. So what do you have to say on collaboration? Is that something that you're actually doing more and more?
Collaborating?
Yeah.
Again, selective with the right people, with everything else.
That goes without saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some people need to hear that because.
Sorry. To me, it's like we're talking about vibrational match and discernment and all of that. It's like, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, there's something that I always stay pretty true to. And I always say, if an opportunity is presented to you, you take it. And I think you're pretty much the same way, Tatiana. It's like when there's a good opportunity, and even if you don't see the outcome there and then, like, you have a feeling about how it could go and you take it. But not every opportunity is going to serve you. And you have to be just like your friends and just like business decisions. Like, you have to think about it for a second and then move forward. But that also goes to having confidence and not being afraid of decisions. And so, again, to go back to collaboration, some collaborations can be amazing, some not so much. You have to kind of do your due diligence and make an intelligent decision, and then you stick with it. So everything goes back to self. Everything goes back to you.
And that inner work for you or anyone to really build that self-worth, that self-confidence inside in order to be your own rock, in fact, right?
You only have you. In my opinion, you only have you. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you only have you.
There is this saying that I've heard so many times from people. I don't know if it's even a French saying, because I've heard of it more in France than here. Some of my parents' friends would say, "We die alone." And I used to be really bothered by that expression. It just seems such a gloomy, it's like it's horrible to think about it that way. But I think there is a reality to it that, reflects on the fact that we steer our life in the best way possible for ourselves. Only us really know what is best for us or not. And moving, I mean, I don't believe that we're totally alone, but I do believe that we ought to develop enough of our inner gem to know exactly how to navigate life, so that we serve ourselves, yes, but by serving ourselves, we are best able to serve others and our businesses in the meantime, right? What I agree. In order to build that inner gem, or nurture that inside that you seem to have really developed?
I have a lot of alone time by choice. So a lot of my work is out with people or groups of people or traveling or the show or whatever I'm doing. It's very rare I get to be alone, but I really do try to schedule alone time to kind of recharge my battery, because people's energy is a real thing and you do pick it up. So recharge my battery. And I'm actually more of an introvert than an extrovert. I'm an introvert extrovert, so I can turn it on when I need to, but I prefer, like I said, I prefer to be alone, just to go through everything and have my own thoughts, and just to kind of recoup and re-energize.
Do you have rituals?
I do have rituals. I do a lot of I would call it energetic metaphysical work.
Interesting.
So I have a whole room, energy stones and sage and crystals and tarot cards and all that stuff. That's my deal. That's what I do. That's what keeps me grounded. That's not for everybody. It doesn't have to be. But that's something that I really enjoy. I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks. So really, really love her very much. I like things that just get to the core. I like things that are clear, concise, and free flowing.
Mm, very good. So I hear you're also just coming back from Necker Islands.
Yes, I
Rock
did.
Islands. And so did you take your crystal to Sir Richard Branson?
I did. I actually did bring crystals. I did not give him one, but he did come with me. That was quite an experience. That was really quite the time. Actually, this is the first time I'm talking about it. I didn't even talk about it on my own show.
Woohoo! We've got the exclusivity. That's awesome. I love it.
So that was quite the time. And it's funny because about 4 or 5 years ago, I had sent clients there in the past to go to Necker Island, to meet Richard, to meet everyone else that was on the island with them at the time. I never considered even going myself, but as always, of course, someone I would always definitely want to meet. So the opportunity arose, back to taking opportunities when presented to you. The opportunity arose, and I, of course, took it immediately. And that experience completely changed my life. That changed me more than I would ever know, probably.
In what way?
I just came back feeling completely different, and that feeling has stuck. And so, and I don't think I'm the only one, because we have a whole group text of everybody who went. There's about 50 of us, and everyone is saying the same thing. We're having serious Necker withdrawals, and not just because the island itself is quite beautiful and it's gorgeous, and I can see why people could stay there forever, definitely. But there's an energy there, and there was an energy within our group, and just the big power. There were some power players there. I'm not sure if I can talk about them or not, but it was just more than I would ever anticipate, and it really just was life altering.
So can you expand on that? What is it about the life altering?
It was an experience. So I'll tell you a couple things. So sorry, I have to plug you in before you die.
Well, I'm not dying. You're dying.
Here. So the first night we were there, there was about 50 entrepreneurs, all doing really big things around the world. No one there was not doing something big, that's for sure. And every night there was dinner at a different table on the island. It's always a big table because they have people there all the time. And you had to pick up a rubber ducky, and underneath the rubber ducky was a number, and that's the number you were sitting at, the chair that night. So I took my number, I sat down, and there was a person next to me, and there was Richard next to them, and then everyone else was sitting down. There was a seat open next to me, and I saw someone looking for their seat, and I said, "What number are you?" And he said, "Number 19. I said, "Well, that's you right here. Get your ass over here." I didn't know who it was. And he sits down. We were talking for a little while, and I come to find out he is Martin Luther King Jr. the third. So it's Martin Luther King's son. And I told him to sit his ass down. And we were talking for 3.5 hours. So it was me, him, and Richard, everyone all talking about world issues and how we come together. And it was a bigger conversation. No one came, my name's Candice Bar, and this is what I do, and blah, 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 blah. Nobody came like that, and nobody was like that. We're talking about really big conversations.
That's awesome. So was it inspiring, or was it, did you come back being inspired? Of course you're inspired, but what is it about that inspiration that lifted you? What is it that you could put your finger on and say it was simply to have these top, like over the top type of conversation that really boost, a certain level in terms of, intellectual level for the conversation? Is it that people were so open that you could talk about anything with anyone? Or
what my takeaway from that was, we all had roommates, or I think I had a roommate, and we were sitting, she was sitting on her bed and I was sitting on my bed at the end of the first night. And we were just like sitting there trying to process and absorb everything that just happened. And we're both like, I don't have any, like, we couldn't even talk because it was just so much information and like high vibe, high energy. And for me, my takeaway was that usually I'm giving so much energy. I'm giving so much time. We're so, you're probably the same, Tatiana. We're so, we're giving to our clients or whoever all the time. Almost. That's why alone time for me is very much needed to recharge. This is the first time I was around a group of people ever in my life so far that there was not one point I felt tired. I was being fed, and we're all feeding each other. And again, the energy was so high vibe. Like, it was just amazing. I could not imagine a better experience.
That's rare.
Very. Never had it before.
Rare. So is that something that we could possibly reproduce on our side of the world? I mean, maybe to a different level, but building to that type of synergy. I mean, this is so valuable, right? To be able to be in amongst energy boost, an energy boost. I mean, people having such, and they were, I'm sure, from all over the world. So it is, you know, it is like it becomes this melting pot of intellect and energy and gifts that keeps, you know, that keep going back and forth between everyone.
I'm sure somebody could redo it. It just it was just the right people, the right timing, the right, I don't know. There was a magic there. There was definitely a magic that I experienced there that we all kind of carried away. Like we all, when we left, we all, like, I really wanted to cry, and I'm not a crier. Like, I wanted to cry. Like, I really wanted to, we're all very emotional. It was beyond what I could possibly talk about.
Did you have a conversation with Richard?
Yes.
And?
I had a couple. Actually, I had some really cool, like, I think I was the only one who had these couple experiences. Well, me and my roommate, the first day, we were walking up a trail to get to the main house, and there's no cars there, obviously. There's just golf carts. And he just comes by himself in his cart. And he said, "Do you guys want to ride?" So we get to have a ride with him, like up to the house, up to the main house, which was very nice. Yeah. And next morning, I was running behind. There was meditation happening, and I was running behind. And then he was in the cart with his wife, actually, and his 2 grandkids. And he asked if I want to ride. I said yes. So I got to get in the cart with them. And there's also animals all over the island too. So there's lemurs and turtles and everything, and little small ponies. So we pulled over for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I got to, like, watch him and his grandkids just play, and me and his wife were having a basic general conversation in the morning. But I was just watching and observing, and just he's not on his phone all the time, like, working all, like, he's in the moment, and he's being a grandfather, and it was nice. I got to see this. So I don't know if everybody else got that same experience that I did.
Who is Richard Branson? Who is the man, and who is the entrepreneur, from what you've gathered from your experience?
I think very much what you see or what we know of him is very much who he is. Okay. So he's definitely go-getter. He's a little bit wild. He's definitely outside the box. He's a super visionary, very willing to share, loves tennis. We all play tennis a lot. Loves tennis. It was really fun because it was someone's birthday, and we were all having dinner at another table that night, and he got his ass on the table. He was dancing down the table, and so was everybody else. There were some world leaders there. We all got on the table, and it was amazing. It was really magical.
What's your takeaway for you as a person, again, and as a business person, watching him and bathing in this energy from him? What is it about him that you can literally say, I need to develop more of this?
You know what I really liked about him? And again, you know, he has several and has had several businesses, and he even shared, he goes, it's much easier to have 100 businesses than one, which I find true. And there is, and I'm sure he built up to this point, but there is an effortlessness about him. And there's no, I didn't feel any kind of stress around him. Now, I'm sure that took some years to build up to that. And again, you never see, you don't see the cake being made, but I didn't find that to be, who he is. He's not stressed out. He's just at an ease, I'm sure, at this point in his life. Again, I'm sure he worked up to that, but.
Back to what we were actually starting with, if we keep our our eyes on ensuring that we keep fun and flow and detachment, we can build that type of effortlessness that is needed in order to, I think, create a level of performance that increases with time. It's not because we age and we get older that we should perform less. I think we can perform better. And I think effortlessness is about performing better, but not more.
Yes. Well, also he did mention too, which I agree completely, delegating to the right people makes things flow faster.
And back to discernment about how to choose those people. So I think we've got all those principles nailed. It's just a question of practicing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was again, just to go back to that, it was such a rare experience. And if anyone ever has the opportunity to do that, if it's ever presented to them, they, in my mind, knowing what I know, they must take it no matter what they have to do to get there. You're missing out on something seriously amazing.
So I was presented with that opportunity twice now. I haven't taken it twice. Well, it just wasn't the right time, I guess, for me, in my discernment. But in French we say jamais deux sans trois, never two without a third one. So so I guess I'll have to pick on the third one. Yeah.
I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to do so.
Excellent. And as far as the people that you were with, are you all friends and keeping in touch, and you have friends all over the world now?
Yes. So, well, we have that anyway, but we are on the same text, and I'm actually meeting up with one of them on Friday in Los Angeles, and another one, I think I'm going to try to meet with her on Thursday while I'm in LA. And then there was another one that also lives in San Diego here. So we all keep it. There's one in London. I mean, they came from all over the world. So.
What is it in yourself that you need to develop today more that will serve your business even more?
I think about this, and I don't know if it is. I think it's something I need to refine. That may help. However, so far through life, I've appreciated having it, and or not having it, I would say, patience.
Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. Patience.
Yeah, I'm not a patient person.
But I don't tend to be a very patient person either. So I don't know if it comes with the entrepreneur territory.
Well, I think we're so used to pushing for what we want. And I would say it has served me so far, for the most part. But when you go through different levels of business and you're up leveling, you can't play a different game with the same rules you've been playing with. So
exactly, because if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same results, right? So, but then, so the question is begging to be asked that what is then? We're talking about effortlessness. So, performing in an effortless way, to me, in my opinion, means that there isn't so much impatience. It's an ability to flow in such a way that there is a knowing there are different elements to effortlessness, in my opinion. So I'm curious to hear what you think, because to me, there is a level of knowing, there is an element of faith, there is an element of patience, manifesting, that's part of, I think, the faith factor. Mm. So how do you see being effortless and impatient?
With, the way that I see it, or the way that I translate that, is a lot of things and it's hard to do, especially when you own your own or run your own business. Sometimes you just got to let it go. Mm. It's not always with a person. It could be a situation happening.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you want to get into it and fix it and move it forward and, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes your best bet is just to let it go. Mm. And see where the chips may fall, because honestly, you're gonna have to deal with it no matter what. And sometimes pushing things is not going to help.
True. And so that relates to patience and just letting go of that impatience in order to just let it happen.
Like, see where the chips may fall. Because honestly, even though, like, there's two sides of my brain. The one side is like, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Mm-hmm. And then the other side is, actually, I don't believe we control anything. I think it's an illusion that we tell ourselves.
We want to stick to, because it makes us feel better. We think we are in control because we want to believe we're in control, because it's a type of reality that makes us feel more safe and certain. And better, and but it's a story we tell ourselves. It's not true. We cannot control anything, I don't believe. Interesting. So moving forward, this is what is the vision that Candice holds moving forward? When you take all of this in and you combine it into a little gift, beautifully wrapped, and you're looking at the gift, let's say in 5 years, and you are able in 5 years to unwrap it, is it what does it look like, that vision?
That's a very good question. My honest answer is I have no idea.
That's honest. Everybody's like, well, my 5-year plan is blah, 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 right?
Yeah, don't ever ask. I remember, like, when I was building business, people, like coaches and mentors, would ask me that. I said, I don't even know what's happening tomorrow. Never mind in 5 years.
Yeah.
Ask me in 5 years, because I don't know how to answer this question. I have no clue.
That's funny. So even your coach, David, would
I think they did ask me this question, and I don't know. Like, I have a sense of what's happening now and what's happening this year.
Right.
But honestly, things could change. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. I mean, I have an idea, but that could change completely.
Mm-hmm. So what are the things that in your life you cannot go without?
Coffee.
That I'm sure you know those. So we're not talking about what you're going to get in 5 years, because we don't know that.
Oh, what did you say? What can I not go without?
That's correct. Like every day, right now, in this life today,
okay.
What can you not go without?
Yes, coffee. My phone. I cannot go without, I have a core group of people around me that I really, really, really respect. And at this point in my life right now, I couldn't see moving forward without them. They've helped so much in my life. And also too, I hope to think that I bring value to their life as well. Yeah, that's it really.
And if you had the luxury today to get anything you want, what would it be?
I'm sorry, one more time.
If you have the luxury today to get whatever you want, what would it be?
to go wherever I want. You know, I would love to. There is this cruise, and right now the cruise line escapes me, but there's this cruise that goes around the world in less than a year, and you hit, I think, 136 countries, and the cruise ship is stunning, and I would love to do that.
Then do it.
To travel. I love to meet new people. I love new cultures. And I think it would just be fabulous. One day you wake up in Boston, the next day you wake up in Iceland. So
that's
I
awesome.
think it's great.
Well, then what's holding you back?
I have to be here right now.
Oh, come on. I'm sure you can run your business from that cruise line.
I have to be here right now. For like this moment right now, I have to be here for the moment.
Okay. All right. And so you're coming into LA this Thursday and Friday. You are based in San Diego.
Yes.
How can people get a hold of you otherwise, besides your phone, which is not working right now?
Social media. I'm definitely on Instagram. I'm definitely on Facebook. But they can also contact my amazing director of operations, Chelsea. Chelsea at Candice Bar, BARINT.com. She's very responsive. She will get a hold of you immediately.
Awesome. And as we actually introduced you as a serial entrepreneur, which is true, I want to give you the opportunity as well to talk very briefly about the core business and why would people need to get a hold of you? Why do they have to get a hold of you? Because
sure. So I of course have my radio show and the TV show. So anyone who wants well-established entrepreneurs who want more exposure or need more exposure because people don't know about you, they can't do business with you. People who are willing to share their story and their journey in an authentic way. That's definitely what my show's about, Luxe Life for sure. Yeah. But then the other side of my business, the networking business, is that's more for people, again, well-established entrepreneurs who want to connect with their right clientele, who are sick of networking and wasting time networking and not getting the results that they want or need. That's what I'm for. I save a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money. People who, again, more exposure, not just on my show, but on shows with magazines, things like this. People are just sick of wasting time and energy and actually really do want to move forward with their business dramatically, that's what I'm here for.
Very well described. I would vouch for that.
Thank you.
I want to thank you. We're out of time, and this was awesome and super fun. And I love the business bits and nuggets and human sides to you that you've shared. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you in LA this week. Take care. Bye.
Yes. Bye, everybody.